Hello people of YouTube. So we wanted to make a quick video because
we got a message on one of our last YouTube videos. I can't remember, it was like post breakdown happiness or something like that.
yeah,
And anyway, there was some girl called Sarah Louise, I think that's her name, asked us a question on, well, I'll read out the question. She goes, "Hiya, found you guys through the indie projects. Your van is looking great. I was wondering what your motivation was to start living in a van." So here we are, going to explain our motivation.
So you have to go quite far back, I think, in our histories to look at what motivated us.
Basically, it's been in our blood.
It's actually been in Dave's blood.
Well, I've got gypsy in my blood. I've got old school Romany gypsies. They're my great grand.
So you're on your mother's side?
Yeah, on my mother's side. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Was your nan not a gypsy but married out of gypsy?
My mum was like in the gypsy family, but she like kind of moved into her house. It wasn't for her kind of thing. But like the ancestors after that, like, you know, like
great grandparents,
and they were all Romany gypsies with the horse and carts and like proper gypsies.
Yeah, I keep saying we should get a horse and cart.
It'd be nice. Or I suppose.
Dave's frightened of horses a bit.
No, I'm not.
When we go to fields, you say you're a bit frightened.
Well, they're big, and you know, you get those big, massive stallions and stuff. Like, they're like authoritative and that.
I think they're nice.
I've had some experiences where they've been like turning around, kicking at me and stuff.
Yeah, but anyway, Dave's a part gypsy.
Yeah.
And we actually met camping, so I think, you know, that's
We've always been a bit wild.
Camping excitement, sort of.
Yeah.
Is what unites us.
Camping out in the wilderness and like being with nature and, you know.
Yeah, I think when we first met, we met camping, and then when the first few months of us being together, we kind of like stayed in my mum's back garden in a tent for a couple of months.
We didn't want to stay in the room. He was like, "No,
yeah.
Let's stay in a tent."
Yeah, and then when it got a bit chilly, we sort of progressed into living in the caravan in my mum's garden for a while. And of course, we went to France and did camper car around France.
Car, yeah. We laid the seats flat and had like a little mini burner, and that was quite uncomfortable.
That was weird.
It was
but
cool.
It was fun.
France is really nice. I went to Saint Malo and Paris
was fun.
Went to Amsterdam.
Yeah. I think we just woke up one morning and we was like, we're going on a Euro trip, and we did it.
Yeah.
In the car.
Bit spontaneous, but it was good.
Yeah.
And then we got to Belgium. We was going to continue further, and it was a really nice day. Got to Belgium, and literally took my seatbelt off to change my jacket because it was so hot. And these police on motorbikes must have been following us, pulled us over, and like instantly fined us.
I think we got 120 euro fine.
120 euros. Like, we was like, we don't have it on us. And it was like,
we'll take you to an ATM.
Yeah, we'll take you to an ATM. If you don't pay, we'll take your car.
Yeah,
and we're like,
no much choice.
Okay.
Yeah, and when I was younger, we'd go camping a lot. Like, we'd go to lots of these. I don't know if anyone knows about the vintage rallies, like the steam engine rallies that we have in Britain sometimes. And we'd go to them like every weekend with my family, and we'd be.
I actually used to go with my dad as well.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to loads of vintage rallies and like.
Good, aren't they?
You're like almost like car boots and, you know,
like little stalls. Sometimes they have fair rides and stuff.
Yeah, and there's like all like the vintage motor rallies where they got all vintage motor cars and steam engines and motorbikes, and my dad was really into that, and he got one day he got us a little monkey bike.
Did he?
Yeah, and we was really happy. We rode around on that for years. Like, it was so much good fun.
Oh, steam rallies are so good. It's like, if you've never heard of the steam rallies or the vintage rallies, look them up, because even if you've got something like an old like 1930s bicycle, you can apply to get on the vintage rallies as a, I suppose, what would you call it? Not a guest, but when you're showing something.
A host? No,
I don't
sorry,
know.
not a host.
You can even just go there and show like a crappy bicycle which you can get like down.
Just anything vintage,
scrap
really.
yards.
Yeah. Because you said your dad used to take just a
we used to take a really old bicycle, and then Dad would like apply to him, going, I've got this really old bicycle. Dad was not into really old bicycles at all, but he had it as an excuse to get on. He'd write to them, say, I've got this, and they'd go, yep. They'd send us like our tickets and like a number for your display piece, which was the bike. So if you're into that kind of thing, check them out on the internet. But I remember when I was a little girl, when I was about 5, Dad used to take us down to Cornwall all the time in the caravan, and I always used to think it was really exciting being in the caravan. It was just really it's like adventurous almost. And I remember being 17 when I first was able to learn to drive. I hadn't started learning to drive, but I wanted to, and I said to my dad, Dad, I want to buy a camper van so that I can move out into it, because moving into a house seems like too complicated. And he was like, oh yeah, why don't you get a Mazda Bongo? And I was like, I don't know, I think they're a bit small.
Toyota Hiace, you said.
Toyota Hiace. And I was like, I think it's something a bit bigger. But I couldn't drive then, it was just a fantasy. But it seems to have made its way into reality. But I think, combinedly, a few months before we got this van, so if you go back in time on our YouTube channel, you'll see our very first video. I think it was from 2 years ago.
Is that when we had the what was it, Mitsubishi Delisa?
No, what about when we first got this van?
Oh, this van.
When we first got this van, it's about 2 years ago. And what sort of sparked us off to get this van is we saw something on like a Facebook blog or something, and it was Van Dog, wasn't it?
Yeah, Van Dog Traveller. He his videos are amazing. Like, it's just, his build is like, it's basic and it's really well videoed, and it just makes you really inspired to do it yourself.
What's he got?
He's got an LDV Convoy,
Yeah,
but it's like a high top,
Convoy,
and he's done a proper good job.
He's
with
even
it.
got like a little bathroom
And
suite.
he's been travelling now for how many years? Like,
yeah, he's like been in Morocco and everything.
because he's got a book now and he's got so many following. He's making money on the road, so
Yeah.
obviously it's our dream to do that eventually, get a good following and
Yeah, sort of just like document what we
document what we do, and hopefully make a book one day, and hopefully inspire people
to live freely.
to live.
Not entirely freely, because obviously you still got things to pay
Even
for.
people living in the houses still like the videos, because they realise that it can be done, and it's not, you don't have to have a house to be free and on the road living in a van.
I always get this feeling like, although houses are great because you've got all this space and you can have people around for dinner parties, whatever it is you want to do.
We
in
still
your house
like
space.
going into houses. Like,
Yeah,
we've got
it's still
friends
nice
that we
to
go
go to
around for
houses.
dinner, and we got my parents' house and all that. It is nice and it's cozy, but we even found
It
that
just feels a bit like a prison.
we get too hot in houses now as well. Like,
oh God, yeah.
my mum's house, it's like a bloody incubator or something.
Yeah, it gets a bit hot. But I don't know. I kind of felt like it's a prison when you're living in a house. I mean, you're
Trapped
just sort of
down,
landlocked to it. You want to go away say you want to go away for a few months, traveling for whatever reason. Maybe we're going to go to Southeast Asia or wherever. You've got this liability, or I suppose, or this obligation to look after this house back home. You've still got to pay for the bills. You've still got to do this, that, and the other, and it's a constant worry. I mean, at least like from what I've experienced, it is. I mean, you can't just mosey off. And I always thought, if you're paying rent for a house and all the bills for a house, and you've got a vehicle on the drive and you're paying all the bills for that, why don't you just sod the bills off for the house and live in the vehicle and just pay the vehicle bills? I mean,
I suppose that's our fault, as people look at it differently. Don't they?
people look at it differently and think, God, you tramps.
And like, we went to our Shrewsbury on the weekend and seen our friends, and they was like, "You make it sound so easy. What? There's obviously it's not that easy." And we're like, "It is."
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
It's like what you got other things that like credit cards and phone bills, and it's like you still pay them in the van.
You can
Like,
still pay for those in the van.
yeah, you still got. I don't know. He's like, internet. What about internet? We got 4G on our phones. Why do we need laptops? It's like we can stream whatever we want on our phones, and you don't necessarily need all this stuff you have in the house either.
No, I mean, even things now, I start looking around going, we need to get rid of that because we don't need
We've
it.
been minimalising a lot, and it's quite liberating, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, it's less things to worry about, less things cluttering up your mind, cluttering up your space. I don't know. I've always enjoyed the sense of freedom that you get from not having to take responsibility for things. So like not taking responsibility for a house. It's so much nicer not to.
So if we want, we just move. If we want to go travelling somewhere, we either travel in the van, like we're going to do in the next couple of months. We're going to go down to Spain and Portugal, do
All
a
being well.
little Euro trip, and well, that's our next plan. But even if we wanted to go to Asia or something, we just park the van at my mum's and we'll bugger off. We
Yeah,
haven't
leave it on the
got to
drive.
carry on paying bills. We haven't got to worry about. All we've got to worry about is Buster, really.
Once he's got a passport that we can come to Europe.
We can come to Europe, he's going to come with us.
He's sleepy now. Yeah, so I suppose, I don't know if that covers all grounds of what inspired us or made us want to live in a van.
Yeah.
I just guess we get to spend more time with each other in the van because we don't, although we do have jobs, so like I work a couple of days a week and Dave works a couple of days a week, and that seems to get us by in terms of food and stuff, but we get to spend more time together, and we get to spend more time doing things that we enjoy rather than working 9 to 5 to pay for a house that will never truly be ours, or paying for bills that just seem to burn off.
When we are in a house, we are constantly busy. Like, we've always got to be searching for that money to pay the bills. We've always got to, or we don't get out much, like, because it's cold out there or whatever. You know, you get locked to your house, don't you?
It's more exciting in a van. I mean, it's stormy as hell outside. Hold on one second, my phone's up to something. It's stormy as hell outside, so we've got this storm, what is it, Oprah or something?
Yeah.
So there's this mad storm coming over, and there's tree branches like blowing down all over the shop.
Literally right next to our van, there's a silver birch, like, and it's just snapped off right next to our van.
Yeah,
like,
so Dave's been out chopping that up for firewood.
we get free firewood from it.
So we can heat our house for free. We can heat our home for free, and we get out. It's exciting. It's fun. It's if you need an excuse to get outside, go and live in a van. Go and enjoy yourself.
You do get to connect with nature a bit more. So you get to experience this storm, like rocking side to side in a van.
This morning, a massive clap of thunder that shook the van a little bit.
We both woke up
like, what the hell was that?
Looked at each other like, ooh.
And then went back to sleep, but it was nice. It was really nice. You feel closer to the elements. If you want to go and live in a van, or you want to go and live in a tiny home, or you want to go and get yourself a gypsy horse and car, don't think too much about it, just go and do it. Go and experience it, and if it doesn't work out, then that's fine. Life will find a way of reintegrating you into wherever it is you want to be. Just stick to that path, just stick to your guns of what it is that you want to do, and do it. Change is scary. Like, any change is scary because it's like stepping into the unknown, but sometimes that's exciting as well. Just go and do it. If you want to do it, go and do it. But yeah, we do normal things still too. So today we've been to
shopping.
We've been to Lidl. Look at all
this. But yeah, like we said, that's all about 25 quid, isn't it?
Yeah. Got 25 quid's worth of shopping from Lidl. Amazing.
But the difference is, we thought we'd try Lidl because we generally go to Tesco, and not sure why we go to Tesco, but there's a ready availability of everything you need there.
Lidl's not paying us, by the way, to say this.
No. But anyway, 25 quid for 3 bags. In Tesco, we paid 40 quid for 2 bags. It's just like a big price difference, and we found the portions in Lidl are bigger, get a lot nicer stuff with Mediterranean foods and like.
Oh my god.
And the sun-dried tomatoes.
Tomato.
Oh god, they're in like an olive oil. They got capers in. They're super tasty, really sweet, oily, juicy. Try them. What else do we get?
Some of the tastiest grapes you'll ever taste in your life.
Deep dark grapes.
They're like black grapes. Tastes like candy floss almost.
We could go for our shopping, but we're not gonna.
Oh, they're so nice.
But yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna one for the lads. Traditional beer. Lidl special, £2.50 for 4 cans.
This is what I have to put with.
Bargain.
So yeah, I don't think there's any other news. We're just really excited that we fixed the van. Really excited that things seem to be going smoothly. Life's good.
And that's pretty about it.
So, if you enjoy the videos, you can support us by simply subscribing and watching our videos. That helps us out. If you want to support us in any other way, you'll find some links below. So we've got like a Patreon, which I'm not really sure how it works, but we've got one. A PayPal, and also there's a link to the eBay down there as well. Sometimes we put stuff on eBay.
Yeah, we're starting to make a lot more stuff, so I'm going to try and start making some more of these macrame necklaces. Posse's got doing some weaving,
Some weaving and some dream capturing, some jewellery
captures.
making. I'm always making something.
And you got the loom on the go, just making some bits,
Making some wall hangings on the looms.
wall hangings, and soon we'll have a little bit of a shop going, hopefully.
But if you don't want to spend any money, just like and subscribe and watch the videos.
That'd be good.
And if you have any questions, we'll answer them.
Yeah,
We
like
love
this.
talking.
This is a video for answering questions, so
Yeah.
we like answering your questions.
Good. So if you've got any more questions, let us know, and we'll see you around.